So lots of people seem curious about hypnosis,
Right.
trying to figure out what's actually going on beyond, the usual myths.
Exactly. And that's why we wanted to dive into this recent review. It really tries to grapple with the science and the theories.
Because there's this gap, isn't there,
Yeah,
between the fact that, well, it seems to work for some things,
definitely. Clinically, the benefits are documented. But yeah, there's still so much controversy and misunderstanding floating around.
even among professionals.
Oh, absolutely. Public, clinicians, even theorists sometimes talk past each other. So this review's goal was to sort of find the common ground.
Okay. And how did that go? Did they manage to bridge that gap? It feels like a tough job.
Well, yeah, it's complex, but what's interesting is they did find areas of significant agreement despite the different theoretical camps.
Like what, for instance?
Well, the big one is probably hypnotic analgesia using hypnosis for pain relief. There's quite strong consensus on its effectiveness there.
Right. That's something you hear about quite a bit.
And also agreement that there are key components common to most hypnotic procedures. Plus, people in the field tend to use a surprisingly shared vocabulary to describe the phenomena.
Okay, shared language, that's always helpful. So even if the underlying theories differ.
Exactly. The how it works is debated, but the what happens and what we call it has some stability.
So speaking of theories, the review looked at different angles, like social factors versus internal states.
Precisely. You've got social theories focusing on, the interaction, the expectations, the whole context of the
The
situation.
relationship between the person and the hypnotist, maybe?
Yeah, that's part of it. Then you have state theories, which look more inward. They focus on the individual's psychological and maybe even biological shifts, like, is there a distinct hypnotic state?
Ah, okay, so different lenses to view the same thing.
Kind of, and both probably offer valuable pieces of the puzzle.
And to try to make things a bit clearer, practically speaking, the review suggested using specific terms.
Yes, that was a key recommendation. Using hypnotherapy for when it's part of psychotherapy, and clinical hypnosis when it's used more in, say, medical or dental settings, just to provide clarity on the context.
That makes sense. Avoids lipping everything together.
It helps define the purpose a bit better.
So the overall push of this review, it seems like it's towards a more unified picture.
I think so, yeah. It proposes this integrated model, basically seeing hypnosis not as one single thing, but as a complex intervention.
Involving different procedures, different experiences people have.
Exactly, and acknowledging all the different factors that influence it, social, psychological, maybe biological. It's trying to be more holistic.
And what does that mean for the future then? For actually using hypnosis or studying it?
Well, the hope is that a more integrated understanding helps us move past some of the older arguments. It could lead to better clinical applications because we understand the mechanisms more clearly.
And maybe more focused research too?
Definitely. Sharper questions, better study designs. It's about advancing the field based on this more comprehensive view.
So stepping back from the details, what's the main takeaway you get from this?
For me, it's that, look, the debates about exactly how it all works will probably continue, right? Science keeps moving.
Sure.
But there's this growing solid agreement that hypnosis is a legitimate mind-body approach, especially for things like pain, and we're getting much better at understanding its different facets. It's becoming less mysterious, maybe.
Less mysterious, more understood. That sounds like progress. And thinking about that clearer understanding, it really could open doors for people looking into different options for well-being or therapy.
Absolutely. It's about having more tools in the toolbox based on better information.
A really useful overview. Thanks for digging into that with me. Click like and subscribe to the Unlock Your Mind channel.